G'day, this is Charlie and I'm coming to you today with your daily dose of business tech inspiration. Today it's topic number 257, how to create simple contact forms that work. What is a contact form? Let's just start there and then I'll get into the rest of it. A contact form is something that sits on your website, and when you go to it, you can fill in the little fields to put your name, your phone number, your email address, and a message to contact someone in relation to the website or relation to your business. A contact form is really important, I feel, because you can use that instead of actually having an email address publicized on your website. I'm in two minds about whether you want to have an email address or not on your website at all. One of the reasons I'd say you don't want to have an email address on your website is because bots pick them up. People pick them up and spam you on them, and it's really annoying when you're on when you finally get on a mailing list and you can't get off it. A contact form obfuscates that email address. It still sends it to that email address, but it does it through an intermediary, which is the form, and the form can hide the email address that it sends it to. So yeah, I would actually have both on my website, but it is entirely up to you. I do recommend having contact forms. People like to be able to fill in things to know that it's going to get a message back saying, yes, your contact has been submitted. What do you need to think about when you're doing a contact form, though? Well, first of all, you need to think about what information you actually need to get on it, and what is the purpose of the form, and what is the information you need to get on it. If it is a simple contact form where it is leave us a message, send us a message, so you might go to contact us and there's this form that you fill out that says, what is it you want to know? Fill out the form and we'll get back to you. You want to keep that as short and simple as possible. Only get the essential information. Name, email, and message is the minimum that you would want. The reason you would want name and email, first of all, you need to know how to contact them back. You want to know what to call them. And the message is, what is it you want to know? So name, email, and message is probably the first three that you want. I have seen some contact forms ask for subject lines. Why? I just want to contact you. I don't need to give this a title. I don't need to give you a subject. Just let me fill in the form and let me send it off to you, and then we can deal with what it is actually about. I have seen people ask for phone numbers, and I'm in two minds about it. I know that I ask for phone numbers on some of my contact forms, mostly because some of those contacts require me to be able to, well, it's easier for me to be able to call back and say, hey, listen, I've got your contact form. Can we have a quick chat about it? Rather than emailing back and forward. Sometimes just picking up the phone makes a difference. Not everyone is going to want to give you a phone number. Honestly, we get to a point sometimes where we don't even want to give an email address because we just don't want to end up on a mailing list. But you need like I said, you need something, one way of contacting them back. So a name, email, message, maybe a phone number. I wouldn't do a subject line. And I certainly, if it is just a simple contact form, I certainly wouldn't be going into demographics. What's your age group? Are you male or female? Where are you located? Maybe, actually, let me just rephrase that one. Maybe depending on what that contact form is and what your website's about, you may need to know where they're located so you know who to get back in touch with them. Maybe you also want to put about what is the inquiry about? Is this a support inquiry? Is this a sales inquiry? Is this an accounts inquiry? Particularly if you're a larger business and you want to be able to route the inquiries through to the right person or the right department quickly, that's probably a good thing to have as well. But that depends on your business. So you need to be really cognizant of what the form is about and how you want to route the information. Make sure that when you create your contact form, the labels that you use on the form are really clear. Labels are the names that you give each of the fields that they've got to fill in. Name, email, message. People will understand those three things. I'll do it that way. Name, email, message. People understand those three things. I would say don't get fancy and try and give them really interesting names or strange titles. Keep it simple. Keep it easy for them to do so that they can get the information in. They don't have to think too hard about giving you the information that you need to be able to help them. The other thing you need to do is mark clearly what is Hey, Ryan, can you please edit that little bit out for me? Thank you. I'm just looking at what time it is. I don't even know what time this is at. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Can you edit that bit out? Thanks, mate. You also want to be able to tell them what information is required and what information isn't. Now, honestly, if you've only got 3 fields on your contact form, name, email, and message, you kind of need them all. You need to know who they are, you need to know how to contact them, and you need to know what they're asking about. So they probably all need to be required, but make sure they're clearly marked that these are required. I really get annoyed when once I've filled in a form and he submit, he goes, no, you need to give us this information. You didn't tell me I needed to give you that information. Please make it clear. It can be a little red star. It can be a little star with a legend underneath saying this is required information. You can have it say required on the form itself. Use clear labels and make it really clear what information is required and what information is optional. Provide validation feedback. Use real-time validation if you can to alert the user of any, or the visitor of any errors in their submission. So is the email address not formatted correctly? Have they not put in the right postcode? I don't know. There's a whole heap of things you can be doing. But if you've got things that require validation, and if you hit submit and it says, no, this wasn't right, I'll give you an example of that in just a moment, which isn't a contact form. Hit submit and says, no, that isn't right. They can get really annoying, but if you can do real-time validation, it makes such a difference. The example I can give you is when you are creating a password, when you're setting up a new account and you're creating a password, and first of all, it says enter your password. So you put your password in. It doesn't tell you what the requirements are. It doesn't tell you whether you've actually met those requirements or not. You hit submit. It says, oh no, you need to have minimum of 10 letters and 1 word and blah, 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 blah. Like, why didn't you tell me that to begin with? That's a good example of where having real-time validation works, because it can come up, and I've seen it work perfectly on some areas now where it's got it and it goes it starts to go green. As soon as you start to meet each requirement, it goes green, and it's like it's instant feedback for me. Whether you add a CAPTCHA, that's that little, well, there's a couple of ways of doing CAPTCHA now because it has evolved, but you know, when you get that little thing that's into the text that appears in the image, I hate them. Absolutely hate them. Some of them are really hard to read. Some of them, you even when you think you've entered the right letters, it still says, no, you're wrong. Whether you use a CAPTCHA or not for security is up for grabs. I don't necessarily recommend using CAPTCHAs. There are other spam prevention tools that you can use. And if you can use those spam prevention tools and to reduce the friction of someone submitting the form, do that. In WordPress, there are a couple of really great anti-spam plugins that you can use that validate content on the form, make sure that the visitor is actually a legitimate visitor, and really reduces the amount of contact form spam that you get. So use some form of spam prevention tool on your form. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you must have a CAPTCHA on there. The final thing that you need to do is have confirmation and follow up. So when they submit the form, have a message that says, thank you, we've received your feedback, we've received your input, this has been sent through to someone, we will be back in touch with you within X days or soon or whatever that is. But give your visitor the acknowledgement that the form was submitted, that the message has gone, and when they can expect feedback or contact back from that form. The other one that I would do is send a reply email. It's just an instant reply. When the form submits, it goes, yep, send an email back to the email that they submitted saying, hey, thanks, we've got your contact. If you've got an inquiry number or contact form number, maybe you can put that on there as some form of validation. You don't have to. I just thought of that myself. Start doing that. But you have something that goes back to their email to say, thanks, we've got it. We'll be in touch. Oh, by the way, if you were asking about product services or you had any questions, did you check out our FAQ or have you looked at this page? I am in two minds about that. Sometimes it annoys me, especially when I've gone through filling out a problem request and then they send me a back saying, have you looked at this? Like, yeah, I did. But maybe it will help too. Just think on how your target audience might respond to that. Okay, so that's a simple contact form. A contact form will work. If you ask too much information, it won't work. If you make it too hard to submit, it won't work. Keep it simple. Keep the amount of friction. I love that term, that the friction, you know, when things rub against each other and really cause problems because they're bashing against each other. Reduce that down so that when someone wants to get in touch with you, it's easy enough to do it, while still protecting you from all the spammers and the fraud and the stuff that goes on there. What do you guys think? Let me know if I've said anything you disagree with. Let me know if you have other things that I might have missed out on there. I think I did well with the jargon in this one. I would love your feedback. Please, if you can, leave comments, join the conversation over at Locals, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. You can join the conversation there. You can DM us on any of our social media platforms, or you can start up a website chat from our website. We'd love to hear from you, truly. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the importance of a website maintenance plan. Oh dear, sorry, it's dry. Really important stuff, I think. And I'm looking forward to doing that one too. In the meantime, you guys have a fantastic day. Oh yeah. Could you like this video? Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. I'd really appreciate that too. Have a great day, guys. Bye.